What's up everyone, hope you're all doing well. Welcome to Hiking with Derek. This is a series where I take a person of interest out for a hike and a chat. I had Pat Divilly out with me, Kwanjay Chan, Amanda Delaney, Jason Byrne last week, and this week I have another beautiful soul. She's the founder of Fight Connect TV. She's the host of a podcast called The First Exchange. She's a regular on Virgin TV and her name is Lydia Daydal. How are you doing, Lydia?
Hi everyone!
How was my introduction?
That was so good. You're a professional. You're way more professional than I am.
I don't know about that, but you tell me that you're not very professional anyway.
No, I don't feel like I am.
Right.
I don't feel like I'm professional in that when you work in TV, when you work in media and you see the people who, you're your peers,
right?
And they're just
and some of them are real pros.
Real pros, as in they, you know, to how they sit or their hand movement or facial gestures, and I'm very emotive, I suppose. Right. Which is what has got me to where I am, because
it's more off the cuff.
Yeah. Right. So I'm in a niche. But I'll probably never come out of it.
So you're actually, I'll just explain to people watching this, we're walking around Dublin at the moment, partly due to what's happening, right, restrictions and that sort of thing, but also be super busy up the mountain today, Dublin Mountain. That's why I said we do this. But I wanted to do this anyway, just to tell our viewers as well, you're not originally from Dublin. You were born in Waterford.
Yes, I was indeed.
How come you have such a strong Dublin accent?
Well, I've lived here for, what am I now? I've lived here for 16 years.
Yeah.
So I moved here when I was 20. So yeah, I have a strong Dublin accent. When I go home, my aunts and uncles will be very like, where did you get that accent out of? But yeah, I've lived here for 16 years. But if I'm home for Christmas at extended periods of time, I'll get a little, well girl.
Right.
So I go back to Waterford.
And you go back into that then as well?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
I find a lot of people don't actually know is that you were in a band that was signed to a record label. You toured the world. You were playing with, like, you were supporting some major bands, like Black Rebel Motorcycle Club being one of them.
I went on tour with them,
How many years were you doing that full time?
About 6-7 years.
So I mentioned the word wild. That must have been a wild time.
Wild time. Big learning curve, a lot of life lessons, a lot of life experience, a lot of mistakes made.
What were some of the mistakes?
Well, there was mistakes made from a professional standpoint, and ego is a massive thing, and then you mix, you know, 20-year-old ego and emotion with alcohol and everything else that goes with it, and the lifestyle, rock and roll lifestyle.
So it was a rock and roll lifestyle?
Yes, and we burnt the candle from every end, every night, and you do that for extended periods of time, and unfortunately it can only go one way. So we kind of we got to a point where we just didn't get on anymore, like all the band, their management, and I definitely was you know, immature. You were quite young though. Yeah, right? I mean, really young, I think anyone could kind of, well, definitely relate to it, that when you're younger you don't make the same decisions that you do now. You often do make rash decisions, or you're quite naive. You don't have much experience to work from anyway, right? Exactly. I was definitely young, and now that I've like spent the time developing spiritually, emotionally, I've gone to therapy since then, and you know, I've dealt with stuff from my childhood and my, you know, just your life, things that accumulate over time. And I sort of forgive myself for it, because I had a lot of stuff that I wasn't dealing with emotionally and processing. So I kind of understand why I was a brat, basically. Right. Do you think you were a brat? Yeah, I was a brat. But I was Would your bandmates have said that too? Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'd probably say a lot worse, to be honest. But yeah, I was a brat, and but I was a cool brat. Right. And the thing with music and the music industry is you can be a brat, and you can be, you know, an arsehole, and you get away with it because you're the star. Because you're the lead singer too. You're the lead singer and you're the star. You're almost supposed to act like that, behave like that, right? Which is you live up to it. What happens with the ego. You get, is that right? Like, oh, totally. You get absolutely caught up in it, and you know, you don't have to be nice to people. You don't have to be polite. You don't have to be kind or considerate or worry about things, because at the time, and the way the music industry works is when you make money for people, or you
or assisting them in some way, they'll let you get away with murder.
Was there a part of you that regrets that you obviously don't do that now?
No.
Is there any part of you that's sad that you don't do it anymore?
Yeah, because when I sit and meditate and, for want of a better word, listen to my soul, it's been on stage, and it's singing, and that's all I ever want to do, and I still feel like that is my true calling. Yeah, it was just when I left, it was like a really painful time. I had a breakup, so the band was gone, my boyfriend at the time was gone, my whole life as I knew for a whole decade was just completely gone, and I dealt with, I had to spend a very long time in therapy, and quitting alcohol and quitting prescription drugs, and just having to go back to like be like an onion that is like getting its what's an onion?
You peel off the layers.
Yes, the layers. Getting the layers taken off.
We're around a similar age, right?
How old are you?
Well, I'm older than you now. I'm 38.
Okay, I'm way younger than that.
I know.
2 years is a
lot.
But
we grew up in a similar era for music, by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
Who was your early life was inspired by music a lot then?
Yeah.
I assume.
Yeah, absolutely. Although,
like in the Britpop era, you would have.
Oh, well, Oasis are my favourite band.
I was going to ask you that. Blur or Oasis?
Oasis.
Definitely,
always.
maybe, or What's the Story, Morning Glory?
What's the Story, Morning Glory?
Don't Look Back in Anger, or some might say.
Don't Look Back in Anger.
All right, and Liam or Noel?
Liam, all day. All day.
I would have agreed with all them except for Don't Look Back in Anger.
Really?
I would have probably said some might say. But that was a big inspiration for you then growing up?
Big inspiration, yeah. Like, and my house never, when I was in the band, I used to get interviewed all the time, and interviewers would say, did you grow up in like a really musical house? And no, music was never played in our house. But I can remember the times when my dad did play music. Yeah. So he used to play loads of Roberta Flack.
Was he any good?
No, he
used to play it on the radio.
He hasn't got a note. No way.
I better cut that bit out in case he watches.
And he will watch, because as we discovered, he's a big fan of yours. Yeah, he used to play a lot of Roberta Flack, Rod Stewart, and Billy Joel.
I love those last two. I actually don't know who Roberta Flack is.
Kill Me Softly.
Sing it.
No.
Killing me softly
with his voice. Yeah, you know it. Well, the Fugees did a remix.
Yeah, I remember that. Well, that was the one I kind of knew, to be honest. I knew it was a cover. Hey, so you're a big part of your life now is Jiu-Jitsu.
Yes.
And has been for some time.
Yeah.
I think you got into that after the music thing, right? Yes. After the band.
Yeah.
What is it about Jiu-Jitsu that drew you in, and what is it that you love about it?
Well, you have to remember, at the time when I left the band, I was just about to turn 30, and everything was sort of had capsized. No relationship, no career, no music, nothing, and I was just left with myself, not really liking myself, and not healthy in any way. And I just knew that something had to change, and I didn't know how or what, or I didn't have the tools to do it myself. So I was out one night drinking lots of Guinness, and when I was out and I used to get really drunk, I'd wrestle all the lads, right? Yeah, I know.
I'm so happy these pubs are closed right now. Can you imagine?
That was before I was dangerous.
I was going to say
now I am dangerous.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It's definitely a good thing they're closed, right?
But so my best friend's boyfriend is a judo black belt, and I was wrestling him, and he said, you know what, Lydia, you need to do jiu-jitsu or wrestling or grappling, because you always naturally you're drawn to it. And I was like, no, I couldn't. We were leaving the pub, and he was like, come to my gym and I will show you a little bit of jiu-jitsu and see if you like it. So I went to his gym the following week, and he done like basic jiu-jitsu drilling, like warm-up drills with me. And I done that for about 6 weeks, and then he was like, do you know what, I can't do I can't do any more with you. You need to join a gym. And I was like, I don't want to join a gym. I'd never been.
Sounds like you wore him out.
Yeah. I'm probably in a gym 5 times in my life up until that point. So he recommended East Coast Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Dunleary. From the moment I stood in there, I started going once a week, twice a week, and then within 6 months I was training 6 days a week.
Right.
I ended up losing like 20 kilos. I started competing, stopped drinking, stopped taking prescription drugs. I was taking loads of Xanax and anxiety meds, sleeping tablets, not because I needed them, because I just wanted to numb myself from any emotional feeling whatsoever.
Wow.
Everything just stopped completely, cold turkey. I moved 8 minutes down the road from the gym, and I cut off literally every single person that was in my life up until that point.
How you doing?
Hi, how are you? Up until that point, that wasn't someone that I grew up with. Michael Collins.
Tin Lizzie. Still in it,
yeah. Christy Dignam. Bono.
It looks like Oscar.
It's Oscar Wilde.
Yeah.
I think there. Shane McGowan, Luke Kelly, Christy Moore. That's Luke Kelly as well. Like.
Again, yeah. I can't think who that is, but
Seamus Heaney, Oscar Wilde, and
Brendan Bean. Yeah. Would you cite Jiu-Jitsu as what got you out of that lifestyle, or that gave you the life you have today?
Jiu-Jitsu saved my life.
Wow.
I don't think I would be here without Jiu-Jitsu. And that
really?
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
You mean here is in this point of your life, or here altogether?
I don't think I'd be alive.
Wow.
I really mean that. I still look at that time, pre-30, pre-Jiu-Jitsu, as I died then. You know, that old me died, and then this new Lydia was born. And Jiu-Jitsu gave me the tools to be brave enough to go to therapy, to want better for myself in my life. Whether that was being more healthy, in eating better, or not drinking, or just the people that I surrounded my life with. I started having a better quality of life.
Yeah.
And when you
sounds like there's a very a thread there of discipline for all these different parts of your life.
That's it, you know, and it's discipline was missing from my life in my 20s, and that's what Jiu-Jitsu gave me, and that's what martial arts gives people. It's a discipline and a focus and a drive towards being a better version of yourself.
If somebody wanted to get into Jiu-Jitsu, you've explained how you got into it.
Yeah.
How would they go about getting started? Because like most people I know, never done anything like that before, and actually would be terrifying to think about getting started.
That's me. I didn't do anything before, you know, like you wouldn't have got me running from here to the end of this park. I wouldn't have done that. And I had no fitness, you know. My coach now looks back at me and he's like, you know, the first couple of weeks you were here, like it was just gas, you couldn't move, like I was so unfit, couldn't do anything. If somebody wants to start or is looking to change their life, you just have to stop thinking about it. People think too much. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to start my new diet on Monday, I'm going to get a personal trainer, I'm going to start boxing, I'm going to start jiu-jitsu, I'm going to start hurling rugby. And it's just the thought of it and the thinking about it takes much more effort than actually doing it. And what I think what happened with myself and what happens with a lot of people is that you think too much and then you're just exhausted because you've been thinking about it for too much. Yeah. Just do it.
Procrastinating.
It's a killer. It's a killer. Just do it. Just be brave and just do it. You won't regret it. You never regret doing new things in your life. And if you do it and you say, you know, and I don't mean like do one jiu-jitsu class, you have to try it. You have to do for a couple of weeks, for a couple of months, and after a couple of months you go, do you know what, this isn't for me, or whatever this new thing you've done isn't for you, then you get to sit back and go to bed every night and go, well, I tried that, it's not for me, it didn't work. And that's, you know, you should take pride in that we should never stop trying new things or experiencing or wanting to experience new things in life, I feel.
What do you know about Oscar Wilde?
I should know more. I should know more. very provocative man.
Right.
In his day.
He's kind of sitting a little bit provocative, isn't he?
He was a very provocative man.
Right.
I'd love to be able to recite some of his pieces now, but...
well, funny you say that, Lydia, because some of them are written down here. And
oh, they actually are.
They are, yeah.
I actually thought someone had...
What's this one say? What does this one say here?
Well, this is... Did you see this already?
No, I didn't.
This is very fitting to our conversation that we're having here. I drink to keep body and soul apart.
Interesting.
Accurate.
Yeah, it means escape, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. Sorry, to put on my lip gloss.
That's what the bag is for, the lip gloss. When Lydia showed up, I said, oh, I like the bag, it's great. Is that like, do you have your protein shake and all that in there? And you have your lip gloss, what else?
My lip gloss, I've got a comb, my keys, headphones and mobile.
Very good, all the essentials.
All the essentials. But I feel like, you know, can you remember Annika's challenge?
I do,
Rice?
yeah,
I feel like
yeah.
you know, I'm taking off on an
That's
adventure.
true, actually, yeah. You even mentioned the podcast there. So you host a podcast called The First Exchange.
Yes.
And you are the founder of Fight Connect TV.
Yes.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
That's obviously was inspired by your move into Jiu-Jitsu, right?
Yes.
So you clearly enjoy that.
I love it. I love fighting. I love watching fighting. I love fighting myself, not obviously in a controlled environment,
yeah.
At the gym. I love everything that, I just love the lifestyle. There was so much going on, there was so much life and vitality in the community that, you know, I would look at interviews or watch stuff online and everything was very technical. And it was kind of like if you watched an interview with a fighter, you had to know about the sport and you had to know what they were talking about to kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
So I just saw a niche in the market for, you know, someone who didn't know anything about the sport would be able to sit down and watch an interview with a fighter and to get an idea of their story, to hear their story, to be able to listen and enjoy them telling about their story.
It's almost like their reason why.
Yeah,
like not what they do, but why they're doing it.
Exactly.
And what sets them on fire.
Yes, which is what I'm interested in.
Yeah.
I love people. I'm a good friend of mine quite recently told me that she thinks I'm an indigo child.
What the hell is that?
It's a very special type of... Oh!
Watch out for the trees. Who put that there? They've been planting a lot of new trees around here. I actually got a fright there.
Did you?
I'm not built for MMA. I get scared by branches.
It's your reflexes.
Like I'm in the city, there's branches attacking me.
Don't worry, Derek, I'll protect you.
You know Jordan Peterson?
Yes. Don't compare me to Jordan Peterson.
You are Jordan Peterson that wrestles. That's what you are.
Do you know what? Yeah, I'll break your heart, but I actually don't. Did someone just shout Conor McGregor?
I think so, yeah.
What
was that all about?
I don't know. God, maybe they've seen my interview with him.
I'm a big fan of, you know, Bear Grylls. How you doing?
Hello, how are you? We're kind of on a tangent there. Get myself into trouble.
I like the way you were saying hello to your fans there.
Yes, hello. Thank you for coming. Thank you all.
Like, you get nervous when you go on the TV?
No, never. I get like an adrenaline kick, like
because you know,
excitement.
Like anyone else, most people would be terrified of it.
Yeah, that's why I feel like I'm meant to do this.
What allows you to not feel the way other people do in that instance?
It doesn't matter what other people think of me. That's what I think. If at the end of the day, if you spend your life trying to please other people or trying to fit in or to say the right things to get more work or to fit in with a certain crowd, that never ends, and that's exhausting.
This is Patrick Kavanagh. He's
Hello,
a famous he doesn't talk.
My favourite kind of man.
He's one of the most famous poets to ever come out of Ireland, and he wrote a poem called A Walk on the Grand Canal, and it was about he was a cancer survivor. He survived cancer, and the poem was about him reconnecting with nature. Wow. So when you brought that up just there, I was like, that's interesting. Patrick Kavanagh's statue's up here. So that whole poem was about how after cancer he realised how important nature was, how unimportant the city was and all the material stuff in his life. And he breaks it down obviously within the poem, but that's why I thought that was interesting.
That's I should have known that. But now I'm going to know more about Patrick Kavanagh. But yeah, I feel totally. Can I hug a tree?
Can you?
Right? So like, you know, I'm a big hugger.
Yeah.
This is embarrassing. But like, look how comforting this is to hug a tree.
No
right?
social distancing there. So how does it make you feel when you're hugging the tree?
Again,
because this is a thing, right?
Yeah,
People
right. Tree huggers, right? But
yeah.
it just makes. I feel secure and protected next to a big massive tree like this. It sounds so bizarre, right?
Right.
But also, if you put your hands on a tree, you feel the life that's in it. Now, people are going to be like, the one that's off that Elaine show is actually nuts. She was hugging trees on the Grand Canal.
Yeah.
But I just feel really connected to it.
Right.
I'm really grateful.
Can you hug this one as well?
Yes.
It looks like a good one.
You're right. It
just
is a good
close
one.
your eyes. Or just stay there. Lydia Daydal, how do people find you online? How do people find you online?
In
Not in general. We don't want your address or anything.
You can find me on Instagram at Lydia Daydal, or at Fight Connect TV, the First Exchange podcast. I'm on Facebook and Twitter as well.
Well, listen, thanks so much for coming out today. I had great fun with this walk. It's not up the mountains, but I wanted to do this walk in Dublin for ages anyway.
Yeah,
and I thought it was fun. It was different. So yeah, thanks so much. Everything that you go on to do, wish you the best of luck. I know you'll nail it because you've been nailing everything up until now. And it was funny because we ended up at the Oscar Wilde statue, but that before we came out, I thought to myself, the one thing that stood out about you was that you are yourself all the time. And that's what he's most famous for saying, is be yourself, everyone else is taken. So that was my takeaway. I just thought it was so ironic that we ended up at that statue.
Absolutely.
And then
Did you not plan that?
No, I didn't actually.
Well done.
Yeah. Oh, well done you.
The universe is providing for you today.
So anyway, that's it. Everyone, thank you for watching the video. If there's anyone that you would like to come out on the next episode, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, Lydia.
And thank you for the guy who recommended me in your comments.
Yeah, I think it's Philip Thompson.
Yeah, if he hadn't recommended me, I wouldn't be here. So thank you very much.
There you go. Well, you might have been. But, yeah. Anyway, thanks a lot. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe. And yeah, Lydia, thank you. Bye-bye.
See you later. Bye-bye.
See you later. If there's one thing you could change about yourself, what would it be?
On the spot now. There's one thing that I could change about myself.
Well, I tell you what, the last time your last answer I've heard you say to that, it's a long time ago. You said that if there was one thing you could change about yourself, you'd be less anxious.
Definitely not anxious anymore.
I know.
You're good. Where did you know more about me than I know about myself? That's dangerous. Your research knowledge is second to none, Derek. I have little to no anxiety anymore. When you were asking me that question and I was thinking about it, I was thinking about stuff like, when I have a day off, being able to take the day off.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah. I think it's great though that you don't even remember that was your answer. Like it probably didn't come to your mind.
Yeah.
But that was your answer. That was obviously a big deal for you back when, I think it was 2012 you said it.
Wow, Derek, that's really impressive. That's really impressive. 2012. So that'll tell you what changes have been made.